Hello and welcome to the 4WC. Back in action at Sunday, first match of the day, Russian Federation versus Thailand. I am Floflorian, joined by Subaru Arima. How are you doing?
Doing very good, thank you. First match of the day for me, first match of the day, period. And a very interesting one, that is, as seed 11 Russia, as you did mention, against Thailand seed 22. So not the closest match seeding-wise, and some would argue that the Russian Federation has one of the stronger looking teams, at least in the early stages of this tournament, when you look at their players and their performances. Very consistent throughout the qualifiers round, whereas Thailand was more reliant on the extremely dominant performance by their top player Chess. Hopefully, though, they can find some early stage consistency and get in a few points and give Russia a tough match.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a bit worrying about Thailand here. We have seen the Russian Federation, we've seen some of these players, very experienced tournament players. On the opposing side in Thailand, there's certainly some newer tournament players that might not be able to deal with the pressure of this match. I personally believe that Russia might have underseeded by quite a lot. I've taken a look further into the players, and they have some really big potential even going into the further stages. It's going to be an uphill battle here for Thailand. They need to really be careful of what they're going to pick, and I'm already a little bit contemplating about the bans and picks. And Subaru, what do you think are going to be the bans and the picks here in the beginning?
Well, it's a little bit hard to call, as a team like Russia is pretty much expected to perform very well on most skill sets. We do notice that in the qualifiers round, they had a pretty tough time on Hidden 1 and Nomad 4, so might orientate their ban around the Hidden, as it does seem to be their weakest skill set. But then again, this is a very different pool. They're very different Hidden 1, so they might feel a little bit more comfortable in this one with the flowy tech, so maybe orientate their bans against one of Thailand's strengths, maybe ban something like DT2, although Russia does seem pretty capable of playing that map, so kind of hard to call. And it's only one ban each in this stage of the tournament too, so...
Yes, absolutely. I have only one ban. I'm a little bit of a different opinion. I don't think Russia will be banning any hidden map. The hidden one is very different from the one from qualifiers. I think Russia will rather go like usually the higher seeds goes, and I think with their potential, I feel like they're just gonna ban the DT2, the easiest map essentially, just to get it out of the way to have no coin flip maps, or have at least one less coin flip map for Thailand to abuse. And I think Thailand has a pretty strong hidden roster, but against a team like Russia, you don't want to play Hidden 2 against Russia. Hidden 1, I would be scared despite the qualifying performances. I might even see a Hidden 2 ban here from the Thailand side, just on how difficult and this map is.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very curious to see what Russian Federation is capable of doing in those early stages of the tournament, as I kind of can relate to them, because oftentimes they're very similarly talked about as a team like France, whereas you see the players and you're like, those are scary players, this is a team with potential, and for a reason or another, it just doesn't seem to happen for them. But of course, I don't want to be too mean, as they do not int as much as my French boys historically, But yeah, it's always been one of those teams where they've always had strong players and scary looking teams, and I really hope to see more and more consistency on their side, as looking at their roster and their qualifiers performances, it's really what screams consistency, because you look at all of these players being super close performance-wise and having tournament experience, and even their lower performing players have pulled their weight on the match they were in, so... I agree with you that it's going to be hard for Thailand to find solutions against a team that's really all around looking solid. They don't really have any maps where they were like outperforming everyone, but most skill sets are pretty mastered, so it's going to be hard to find points against such a team for Thailand. And especially in the earlier stages, where the potential for carrying for chests is kind of limited compared to later stages.
Yeah, I've taken a look at the players more in depth. I've taken a look at the tournament stats. There's of course the ratings for some bots that you have in Discord, and even going through these ratings, the highest rated player of this match is actually Chess on the side of Thailand. But you need to take the entire Russian team, the entirety of the Russian team, and every single one of them is higher rated than the second strongest player ARC tree of the Thailand team, and that is quite a statement. And it is, as you said, the consistency is going to be a question, especially on the lower star rating pool like this. But we have seen some quite difficult maps that no team has consistently been able to four-way or even three-way FC, like the hidden maps. So I think there's very much a potential for these picks here. So we are getting into the bans now. Might still be discussing. I am expecting a DT2. Could be a Noma 2 as well, but I don't see really any other map being banned.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with this one. May oriented. Yeah, it is going to be the DT2. Nicely called. It was one of the stronger performances on the side of Thailand in qualifiers, so it does make a lot of sense. One of their only scores to reach above that 3 million mark. Definitely understand why they would want to ban this against Thailand. On the side of Thailand, you might want to ban something like more aim-oriented, I think. Maybe around the Hard Rock, where Russia was very performant, being number 5 on both Hard Rock maps in the qualifiers, whereas Thailand didn't have such a good time, being respectively number 46 and number 33 on Hard Rock 1 and 2. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Hard Rock ban.
Yeah, Hard Rock's certainly a possibility. I'm still more leaning towards a hidden map. Possibly even the hidden 2. Russia has some incredible reading roster, and on a hidden 2 that is as difficult and in low AR, it's not AR 8 as hidden 2s usually are, but it's AR 7.5 with some really challenging patterns. I'm not sure if they are feeling confident enough to leave this map open, but they are, as you said, going to ban the Hard Rock 2 instead.
Yeah, such a shame.
What a shame.
Yeah, this map has been banned quite a few times, and the music is really good. We'd love to see it at least once, but maybe with a bit of luck, we'll get GT3 being picked once again, as it has been in both matches we've commentated so far. So I would really hope to see it.
Yes, DT3, a very beloved map, surprisingly being picked very early sometimes. Usually a map that you wouldn't pick up early in the game.
Yeah.
You generally want to have your players play a few maps first to get used to the match and to the pressure, because this map is certainly a map you can crumble under the pressure.
Yeah, that's what we went for when we played Ukraine beat the closing pick.
Yes, and the first pick is going to go to Thailand. I would be expecting something like the Noma 2, possibly a DT1. DT3 is certainly not, I feel like, but yeah, let's see what we're gonna get here.
Yeah, something like Noma 2 would make a lot of sense.
Especially after a DT2 ban. Potentially even the Noma 5, but the Noma 5 is a lot more difficult, a lot easier to miss on. But it's you don't have many picks here, and you gotta take your chances, so a Noma 5 isn't out of the question here.
Nomad 5 has a bit of tapping elements, but also a bit more rhythm oriented, so
yes,
might be a good opening pick. But you really got to be sure of yourself. That kind of pick, like your tapping has to be more like formed up and on point, and it is going to be the Nomad 2. Nice call. This one makes a lot of sense. Hoping to see Thailand pull something off here. Definitely don't want to get off to a bad start in this match. I will say this does look very one-sided when you look at the pickings, but I would trust Thailand's early stage. I hope to see them at least get a point or two against Russia, perhaps even more. We have seen quite a few close matches so far in this round of 32, which is always very nice.
Yes, certainly. I think Noma 2 is really the best chance for the Thai side here. If they win this Noma 2, they already have a good time, and they can't really be proud of themselves. But if they lose it, it's gonna look real dangerous. Noma 2 is historically it's a map that is not necessarily difficult. I even like some less strong Noma 2 players are certainly able to FC it, but for some reason in the matches we always see a lot of breaks on this map, so a lot of players just not feeling comfortable. Probably the pressure, sometimes it's just difficult to FC maps despite them being pretty easy, simply because they're pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly.
That might definitely play a role here.
I would certainly agree with that statement. It's maybe adds more pressure, you know, because you know the map is easy. You know you can definitely full combo it with very high accuracy, so you tend to shake more. I mean, personally, I know I'm totally victim of that, because I will often play Nomad 2s for my team when I play tournaments, and it being one of my main skill sets, I always put more pressure on my shoulders when I play a Nomad 2, and tend to underperform sometimes because of that, because you shake, because you misread a pattern that you should misread. So having this as an opening pick looks good on paper for Thailand, but definitely agree that you don't want to over pressurize this first pick, as you could very well fumble and lead to an underperformance.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna be a bit of a difficult one. I've had experience myself of that. What I usually do is, like, I expect myself to FC it, and I know that if I don't FC it, we might just lose the match just because of how easy the map is, and we've seen that before, and it has happened a little. It has already happened quite a few times. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this one will go. I think Chess is gonna be quite well, but it's really about his team. It's really about the supports, and if Chess misses on the number 2, it's just a really difficult time here.
Yeah, Chess is part of that newer generation of stronger looking players for Team Thailand. Even in OWC, you'll see him bullying his way and getting good scores, and we are having 2 players having trouble loading, so hopefully we can get that fixed, as Fedotov and PPKM are still lacking behind. But there we go. They're here. Everyone's in the map. We get everybody synced and get started into this match. Russian Federation versus Thailand. First map beaten. And it looks like we got an early miss by 11 IQ player, and an early miss on the side of Thailand for PPKM and ARZ3.
Yeah, so that is a bit of a stronger start here on the Russian side. Of course, it's just the beginning of the map, but I feel like every single miss here hurts quite a bit. The map is not long, it's very dense, so missing 200 combo in is hurting you quite a bit, but Suzuha missing, but traded by Chess, that's not the person you want to have falling in your team on the side of Thailand. They'll have Azer 3 here on the recovering combo. 1 FC only on the side of Thailand, yet 2 FCs on the side of Russia.
Yeah,
bit closer.
That chess miss was unfortunate, but Fedotov is going to trade it late now, and with Suzuha dropping, this should theoretically start coming back towards Thailand, but unfortunately, PPKM is going to drop.
Yes, and that miss here from PPKM is very important here for the Russian side. They're still behind in combo, despite the recovering combos. But it's still going towards the side, seemingly on the accuracy of these players. It doesn't change, really. Combo seem pretty stable now as well.
A slight combo advantage on the side of Russia as well, with those higher recoveries on 11 IQ here, and Fedotov, Suzuha slowly revealing his one. The PPKM just not having a good time, unfortunately, on this map, and we're now reaching the last quarter, and so far, it's looking about inching towards 150k at advantage towards Russia, and only growing now. Fedotov is going to trade with ARZ3, but that's not going to be enough for Thailand. You want that FC on stage to fall if you want Thailand to come back in this. Unfortunately, Chess is going to be finding the miss.
And this is really just showing the inexperience. PPKM absolutely able to FC this type of map, but a very new tournament player might have just fallen here to the pressure. Russia not getting this insane score on their side either. Not very consistent here early into the map, but it's enough to take the point here, and Russia is now in a good start of the first break point to take this in a big sweeping fashion.
And Stasia did find a very late slider break, so it's a lone FC on Minar on the side of Thailand, but Chess, also S-Ranking, was going to be pretty upset about that. It's very low miscounts, actually, all around. Only 1 or 2 misses for PPKM, ARZ3, Fedotov. Everybody really comfortable on this map, but as you said, it's just the consistency difference on the side of Russian Federation leading to this early break point. And now Russia, open doors everywhere, a lot of skill sets to be exploited. You could go Hard Rock 1, you get one of those big strengths in.
Yeah, honestly, I think Russia might just go for the hidden 2 on here. It's just such a difficult map that you can abuse the other teams so well on it. But it is, as you said, also the Hard Rock 1 that is potentially going to be a really strong point. They were seed 5 in the qualifiers on that. Nomad 3 as well. It's certainly not out of that. So they have a lot of picks here, and they can just go for the maps that they feel most comfortable in.
That Nomad 3 pick would be interesting as well. I think Hidden 2 might come in sooner or later on the side of Russia based on how difficult the map is. The Hidden pool, we talked about it, is probably, like, both Hidden maps are probably up there within the hardest maps of the entire map pool, so If you're gapping a team skill set wise, the hidden pool always seems like a good solution.
Yeah, despite Thailand having quite a substantial reading roster, maybe not so much on the hidden, but strong nonetheless. But I feel like they would just be outscaled on this type of map. But they're going for the free mode too. Very interesting choice. I would not have expected that.
Yeah, the anti-mod pick is really very interesting. You gotta look though around Thailand's roster if they would potentially find some strength in there. Do you go with your carry player ensuring the no mod, like Chess taking no mod, where on the contrary Chess over mod? You got quite a few options on the side of Russia roster wise. We're gonna see a few swaps. It looks like Stacia staying in the lobby as well as letting Q clear.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult question here. I think Chess is perfectly capable of playing that hidden or that hard work, and Chess can just decide on how well they feel about it. There's also Jen, who is pretty strong in the precision. But looking at Russia's side, they have players for every skill set, for every mod here, like 2 times. Like it's so easy for them to fill it out, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this one will go and who are the players gonna be. Are they just gonna throw in the heavy hitters, just the strongest players, let them take care of their mods and just overwhelm them with that, or are you gonna see something else?
Yeah, it's hard to call. Still a bit of roster building on the side of Thailand as Russia seems to be settled in. And Soft Bunny actually going to be coming in for the first time in this match with the second best performing player in the qualifiers for Thailand. So looking like a solid roster choice as Jen is also making his first appearance. And on the side of Russia, so far, things are looking to be going pretty smoothly. A couple of roster changes for themselves, but nothing too unexpected.
Absolutely. I do expect Soft Bunny here to play on the hidden. Chess is most likely going to play here on the hard rock. And Jen might just also play the hard rock. I'm not so sure. The map is not that difficult. And Acer 8 with the no mod, potentially.
As a reminder, 3 mods are imposed, and whether we see to the contrary of what you'll find in OZ World Cup, for example, where it's only 2 mods imposed. So that's also an added challenge for teams on the lower seeded side, because sometimes you'll only have 1 or 2 players who are really comfortable taking added mods on maps. So this can be tricky, which could play into the hand of Russia as this first pick. Obviously, they must feel pretty comfortable in it.
Yeah, fortunately, it is a team size 8 teams, so you generally always have players for free mods, which is why free mods are always a little bit gambly usually to pick. A lot of the stronger teams might not want to go into free mod unless it's a very specific skill set. A lot of other maps you can generally abuse on. But yeah, we're saying the good luck, have fun. We're getting into the map now, and we'll see just in a moment who is going to pick what mods here.
Yeah, and here we're loaded in, and it is looking like Soft Bunny is going to take the hit on this one, as well as ARZ3 and Jen with the hard rock. So they are keeping their stronger player on the no mod. Very valid strategy.
That makes sense.
Map is double hard rock for Russia, actually.
Yeah, it is a map that is not necessarily extremely difficult. I feel like all of these players are perfectly capable of playing it on the hard rock and on the hidden. And we see here the first miss here from Soft Bunny on that hidden.
So far, the lone miss in the lobby going to be traded by 2 players on the side of Russia, including their Nomad player and Stacia on the hard rock. So that's looking pretty good so far for Thailand. And there's going to be another trade with Soft Bunny 11 IQ player and ARZ3, falling. So in the full combo department now, it's actually advantage to Thailand, but this accuracy and early combo lead that Russia had built is going to keep the scoreline on their side so far, but not by much, only about 60, 70, 80k difference.
Yeah, despite having lower combos here, just on the back of this accuracy, the scoreline is not changing at all. Thailand can seem to get an advantage. Now it slightly goes towards the side of Thailand, but Soft Bunny breaking once again. That is not good for Thailand. 90,000 score difference. The score is still going towards the side of Russia here.
Jen is going to fall as well.
Miss from Jen.
Jen, that's not going to help because look at those accuracies on the rebuilding combos on both Hard Rock players, 11 IQ player and Stasia on the side of Russia. Far outclassing Jen on the Hard Rock, unfortunately, and now it's nearly a full team reset for Thailand. Actually, only Chest holding through this section as Russia has entirely recovered from the early misses, and now such a massive score lead. What looked like a close point in the early stages of the map is now turning dramatically towards Russia. As now Chest is dropping also. And I think we're going to reach a 1,000,000-point difference towards the end of the map.
Yeah, that is a bit of a sad one. We don't reach 1,000,000 yet, just yet. But with that miss, especially towards the end by Chess, it wouldn't have mattered, but very unfortunate. And looking at the accuracies and the miscons of the players, it's very clear that Russia just felt a lot better here. Almost all players just having 1 miss, 2 miss on the side of I need to get that list of how to pronounce names because Russia is the most difficult one out of all of them.
Yeah, some of those names are harder to pronounce on the side of Russian Federation. We don't want to make anyone mad, of course, by mispronouncing their names.
Oh, they're used to it, probably.
But that is going to be a 2-0 lead in the early stages of this match for the Russian Federation. Thailand with another chance now on their pick to get a first point on the board. And so Nomad 2 did not work. Do they go Nomad 5 or do they change strategies and go for a different style of map? We did note that Russia did struggle quite a bit on Hidden 1 in the qualifiers. So maybe Thailand feeling confident on Hidden could go for something like that.
But I don't know. I don't know about the Hidden 1. I would rather expect something like the DT1 here.
DT1, Nomad 5, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Looking pretty rough for Thailand, though, as Russia's first pick was extremely dominant on the side of Russia. So the hopes for a breakpoint are, I don't want to say slim to none, but looking pretty improbable now. But it was only one map. It's only 2-0. The matches go pretty fast on a best of 9, but it's also an earlier stage map pool. Well, you could get some of those higher scores. So it is in fact going to be the Hidden 1.
Oh, interesting. So the Hidden 1, they might have just tried to they might just try to abuse them on that Hidden 1 kind of from the qualifier score. Maybe they just picked it on the basis of that, of hoping that Russia is not going to have a good time on this. I think it's a bit dangerous, honestly, to do that, but they must have prepared. They must have practiced this map, and we'll see how this one will go.
You gotta love the homework pick. They just did their homework, looked at the qualifier stats for the opponent team, and realized that Hidden 1 was one of the weaker maps, and are going straight for it as their second pick into this match.
Yeah, very interesting that the lower seed picks one of the most difficult maps of the pool against the higher seed. It's not what usually happens.
That is the analyst pick. I love to see it. Love to see it always. People studying their opponent teams, doing their homework, and you're going to see Chess and Soft Bunny, of course, playing this one for Thailand. Chess is probably going to be perma-lobbied.
Yes, there is no way Chess is not perma-lobbied. Has played every single map in the qualifier as well. And like looking at the performance from Chess, I think Chess was ranked 12th seed of the entire tournament. Quite the statement, of course. And we'll see how Chess will be able to carry in this match. For Soft Bunny, also very strong on a map like this. Miner probably gonna be playing that Aether tree as well. On the side of Russia,
the first appearance.
Yeah. On the side of Russia, we see Paracut finally hopping in. 11 IQ clear and Stasia playing for the Russian side.
I believe so far 11 IQ and Stasia have played every single map as well.
Yes, but we might see Shadever jumping in for this one. Shadever, of course, are very strong, and it's not Shadever. It seems to be Vlados jumping in here as the 4th player.
Oh my god, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Vlados?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go for that then. I still need to take a deeper look into that pronunciation guide for all those names I'm not familiar with. I don't want to make anyone mad, so
I don't think you're gonna make them mad. I think they understand that it's impossible for us to even figure that out. I don't know how Rosie managed to get that information. Like, it's like I have no clue.
So Vlados, and the other one is Vorkuta.
Yes.
Alright, well, thanks for your clarification as we are entering into Thailand's second pick. And this is one of the longer maps in the map pool, so going to be quite the consistency trial. And accuracy is also pretty hard to maintain on such map as one of those flowy tech patterning maps on the hit, and it can lead to a lot of chain missing, so we'll see who gets in with the better start. So far, the accuracy in this intro being on the side of Russia, but no misses to be found in the introduction. This is the easier part of the map, though.
Yeah, very difficult. It's time for Thailand to prove us wrong. Prove me wrong, more likely.
Yeah, I had faith
pick.
in the hidden one pick.
And as you said, this map is so easy to chain miss on. The node log on this map is real, and the first miss is actually going to on the side of Russia, and the second miss as well. So Thailand here with a bit of an advantage here in the beginning in the intersection. Soft Bonnie falling now, but still 2 FCs from the Russian side versus 3 FCs on the Thai side.
ARZ3 drops as well.
Oh no, I did not even
drop on the
notice
side
that.
of Russia, though.
Yes, and it's 1 FC on the side of Russia versus 2 FCs on the side of Thailand. One of them, of course, being Chess. And Miner also doing a really good job. Top acting currently in his team here. But look at the accuracies on the side of Russia.
Yeah, exactly. It's just this recurring theme of Russia with very high accuracy, always keeping the lead, the score lead in their favor despite the combo deficit, as Chess and Mina are doing everything they can, but GLaDOS, despite dropping still above 99%, as well as Stacia, those recoveries are beautifully rebuilding on the side of Russia, which is building this score lead and just maintaining it really. And with Soft Bunny dropping, it's only going to go further on the side of Russia, despite the 2 FCs on the side of Thailand so far. They're going to need Parakeet to drop, and either Stacia or 11Q player drop again. And we do get just that, though. Parakeet and GLaDOS, double miss on the side of Russia. Now the opportunity is definitely in Thailand's hands.
Yeah, now the score is even on the side of Thailand. This is the first time in the match that the score is going towards the side of Thailand. Russia just not feeling it, despite having these accuracy advantage, despite seemingly feeling better on the map, just these unfortunate misses. Another 2 misses on the side of Russia. This is looking like it's falling apart. Stacia, the entirety of Russia is falling apart. Thailand is gonna have the chance to capitalize on that. It seems like it's already won by them with how many breaks we've had yet. Half of the map is only over though. 1 miss here from Soft Bunny. That miss here from Mina was a Bancho, so it's not a loss yet. And holy, we see a 300,000 point advantage on the side of Thailand.
They saw it. They saw the weakness on Russia's side. Minar is going to finally drop, and Chess as well, but it doesn't really matter as long as ARZ3 holds, and it's already a 400k lead with only a third of the map to go. Chess is a bit frustrated about that miss, but it doesn't matter. Soft Bunny can afford to underperform on this one, as look at this team performance on the side of Thailand. 2 players above 500k, 1 player above 400k, and nobody above the 400k mark on the side of Russia. Thailand with the educated pick. You love to see it. You love to see this underdog team going for the educated pickup, going into the opponent's team weakness in the qualifiers. They saw it and exploited it, and it beautifully worked in their favor. It's going to reach a 500k deficit on the side of Russia. And Russia always with the higher accuracies, but look at Thailand and the combos. Now, ARZ3, just as I mentioned him, of course he drops, of course, but still, 3 players above 500k and almost 2 players above 600k now on the side of Thailand. Beautiful performance, and going to lead to the first point on the side of the underdog.
Yeah, Russia struggling to keep these combos up. Whenever you feel like, okay, now they're finally going to build up the combo, now you're going to finally take up some score, immediately 2 of them breaking at the same time, and it's only GLaDOS here left with any resemblance of a combo, and it's just not enough. Thailand taking this point, but not just slightly, with a huge margin of almost 500,000.
Yeah, very, very nice score on the side of Thailand, and very, very good manner to get your first point on the board. You love to see it. And yeah, those scores, and that's an S rank on the side of Chess, actually. Beautiful performance. And if you look at the side of Russia, it's really those high accuracies, but just the chain misses on the flowy patterns. You look 10 miss, 10 miss, 17 miss, despite all of the 97, 98 accuracies. Whereas the average for Thailand is more around the 96 mark. But
Chest, big shout out for the S rank and for Miner for the highest score in the lobby. Funny enough, Soft Bunny had the lowest score of the lobby, but his 3 teammates were just so good and so consistent that it did not matter. Even without Soft Bunny at all, it was a 3v4.
it worked out okay. And with that point in bank now, you start to wonder if Thailand wouldn't want to go hidden too, actually, if Russia is just struggling so much on the hidden. It is a very different style of map, very tricky, low AR reading, so might not be that much of an opportunity for Thailand, but you definitely can raise the eyebrow for the question.
Yes, and Russia going middle into the Hard Rock 1 does make a lot of sense. We've seen them perform so well on the Hard Rock. I think for this time we'll finally start to see potentially Shadaver has not played a single map yet, but super strong on the Hard Rocks. Players are getting in now, and of course they have 2 minutes time to get their roster sorted. Chess staying in permanently. Ace3 also pretty much playing almost every map here.
Yeah, this
and it's gonna be Shadaver coming into this for the first time in this match, I believe.
Yeah, on paper this is looking like a very strong pick for Russia. I hope Thailand can make something happen, but this was one of the stronger Russian performances in the qualifiers.
Yes, absolutely. So both teams already have 3 players on the board. It's only a little bit of a discussion who's gonna be the 4th player, it seems like. On the Russian side, I would be rather expecting maybe Vorkuta. I've seen Kuba appear here. Chen here for the side of Thailand. Thailand's one of the stronger Hard Rock players in Thailand. I believe they just took Chen for the Hard Rocks, has performed very well on them as well.
Yeah, you definitely are going to be looking towards your specialists on that kind of map. Soft Bunny leaving the lobby and Chen is going to be coming in.
And it's gonna be Vorkuta coming in for the Russian side. Just on the wrong teams.
The rosters are set, just need to move Jen on that blue side. Yeah, on paper, at the very least, this is looking like a very solid pick. I hope Thailand can make something happen.
Yes, OD 11.9. That's pretty high OD, not gonna lie. But of course, it is gonna be OD 10.
It's looking like Vlados is going to be the one to come in as the 4th player on the side of Russia, though. This is looking like a very solid roster. And
like
so far,
switch it out.
Once again, Stacia and 11 IQ player playing every single map so far. It's in sharp contrast with what happened in the qualifiers, where Stacia did play a lot of maps, but 11 IQ player only played about half of them.
Yeah, that is quite a difference from the qualifiers, but in matches, it really can often end up like that you just pick into these maps where your roster feels the strongest, and a person like 11 IQ player really fits into that in this type of play style that Russia has, the picking style. Picking pretty much always the maps that he seems to be playing. There's certainly some maps he wouldn't be playing, but for this one he is gonna have a good time. Match has been aborted because one player was not in the right slot.
We're all good. We're gonna get it rolling once again. The good luck are in the chat. One thing I wanted to mention though is that I love to see how Russia is one of those countries where almost like close to none of their 4-digit players are going to be making appearances in the OSU World Cup team, and yet, despite that, they're dominant in the 4-digit World Cup range, also in the OWC range, and the 5WC range. Like, Russia just has good teams all around and all made of different players, whereas other countries tend to rely more on their 4-digit players, which is the case with my country, France, for example. So, you just love to see the roster depth that this country is capable to show.
Yeah, Russia, of course, has one of the most. It's a country with one of the most players, if not the second most players in the world. So they have a lot to choose from, and to build some amazing rosters, not necessarily with the strongest players, but with the players that have the best synergy here. First break here on the side of Thailand. Jen falling here at the beginning.
And look at those accuracies on the side of Russia in this introduction. Still 3 players above the 99%, whereas only one of them is managing to keep it that high on the side of Thailand, being PPKM. And as you did mention, that early miss on the side of Jen is also going to inch that lead a bit further towards the side of Russia. So far, nothing major to signal, as Jen is going to start recovering bit by the second miss.
Yes, PPKM, of course, one of the less experienced players on the side of Thailand, but doing a great job right now, 99.4%, really trying to beat out the Russian players. But then you have 11 IQ player and Stasia, who are like even higher in the accuracy. And here we see it, the pressure, Acer3, Jen, and PPKM all missing pretty much at the same time. Once again, these 2 inexperienced players just not being able to hold through for this pressure, it seems like.
That is devastating for Thailand score. The 3-way miss, the 3-way reset. Only Chess really managing to hold as ARZ3 is going to drop once again. And now look at this score lead flying over to the side of Russia. Still a 4-way FC on the side of Russia. And now Chess is dropping it. At this point, you're starting to wonder if it's not already looking like it's over, because look at this 4-way FC on the side of Russia. And still 3-way 99% accuracy. What a performance on the side of Russia. This is their pocket pick. This is really the pick you expect them to perform on them. Because you saw that 5th place in the qualifiers. You see how dominant they're looking, how consistent they're looking. And this map is just breakfast for them, being devoured. Like, look at this. We're going to reach halfway and still 3-way 99% accuracy. 4-way FC on the side of Russia. This is probably going to be one of the highest scores we see this weekend on this map.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly for other teams to make notes, they gotta ban that hardware from Russia. It's looking so brutal right now. What can you do against a run like this? Score difference already 550k and growing faster and faster. If it keeps going like that, we might see even something like a 1 or 1.5 million score difference.
Oh yeah, and perhaps even more than that. I mean, the players on the side of Thailand are slowly trying to recover. PPKM, as you did mention, as well as Jen and Chets. But look at this performance on the side of Russia. 2/3 through the map and still 4-way FCing. And look at this accuracy on 11 IQ clear. 1/100th for him. And Stasia also with a high 99. Vlados did drop below the 99 mark, but look at this performance. What can you say? What can you do as PPK drops once again? And just burying the hope. It's already a 1 million point difference and growing. It's going to look even more one-sided than the first pick on the side of Russia. It was already 900k difference.
There is just no way they're gonna do a 4-way FC, right?
There's no way you 4-way FC.
What a statement that would be for 4 players on the side of Russia to FC this. What are the Thai people thinking now? Like,
oh no, Stasia finally drops.
Fortunately, Stasia missing here, but the rest of Russia still holding strong. Score difference already 1.2 million.
The hopes for the 4-way FC out the window as I don't know. I don't know. He says sorry. Shader drops a bit of accuracy, but still the 3-way FC accompanied by Lados and 11 IQ player who did drop a couple of hundreds more. No longer 1x100 play, but still, what a performance! 3 million score and growing. 1.5 million difference with Thailand, as Chess is the only one who managed to recover a little bit. But what can he even do? Even the highest score on Thailand is not going to match the lowest score on Russia. What a performance! Probably looking to be the score of the weekend on this map. I doubt any team is going to do better than this.
That really might be it. We still have a lot of very strong teams to play, but I might just agree with you here. Shadever, Vlados, Stasia, 11 IQ player, just insane scores. Unfortunately, a few of them will be falling towards the end, but Shadever and Vlados FCing all the way through.
That is nearly a 2 million difference. Yeah, you don't see that every day. 2 million difference. That's the type of score difference you tend to see on like a DT speed map when a speed team plays against a non-speed team. You don't see that on Hard Rock 1 of all maps. Absolutely. Look at these scores.
I mean, Thailand probably can't even be angry about that. They can't even be angry about their own performances. I'm sure they expected. They didn't expect a score like this, and now that they see it, like, just keep going. Don't think about it. Just keep running with it. There's nothing you can do, really.
Shdever and Vlados doing their job with the full combos, and 11 IQ player with the 5x100, one miss on the map. Really strong performance, and even Stacia was higher than Chess on this map. Nearly 800k for Stacia. Very high accuracy as well. This was their pocket pick. I think Thailand just wants to move on and forget about that and pick either Nomad 5 or DT1. Something more tapping mechanics oriented, because they are not taking the points on the aim. That much has been said.
Yeah, Nomad 1 certainly not gonna be a pick for Thailand, it seems like. DT1, Nomad 5, most potential picks here. DT3, maybe. Hidden 2 would be, I think, a bit of a mistake. I see them picking it maybe, but I think it will be a big mistake. And it's gonna be the Nomad 4. They really are picking completely out of expectations for us sometimes.
Yeah, they are picking on the maps on which they did better in the qualifiers than Nomad 4 was one of those few select maps. So it is a different map, different star rating, different style. A lot of sliders basically. You gotta expect that. Just a lot of slider take. It's a Halgo map, so you get what you signed up for, and hopefully we'll be finding the solution leading towards the second point on the board for Thailand. They're not lagging too far behind on the scoreline so far. It's only 3-1 for Russia, but if they were to lose this point, it would be 4-1 with match point on the pick of Russia, so you definitely want to avoid that. And I gotta say, this is kind of a gambly map to pick at this stage of the match, so I don't know. I'm hoping they know what they're doing.
Very, very difficult. It's a very weird Nomad 4. It's not the normal type of Nomad 4. This is very normal for this tournament, it seems like, but I have a hard time seeing this as a true Nomad 4. It feels very different. I did play it yesterday. I don't remember it anymore, but it just felt very different from the usual Nomad 4s that you have.
Yeah, it's a very tricky map. I like what Thailand is doing on their own picks so far. The Nomad 2 was relatively close. They correctly read Russia's game on the hidden 1, so definitely those informed picks looking to work out at least somewhat for them so far.
Yeah, that hidden 1 was certainly an amazing pick for them, and really well done. I gotta give them props for that. I did not expect them to outperform Russia that much in the hidden 1 here. And I'm sure they did their homework for the Nomad 4 as well. Players immediately in the lobby. Russian team is still deciding on the players. I think we're gonna see the heavy hitters usually on this type of map.
And we are going to see the first appearance of TZ Artifacts on the side of Thailand.
Yes, TZ Artifacts very strong, old player, very strong, Nomad 4 player.
ARZ3 and Soft Bunny, part of the core roster, and of course Chess is going to play that. Suzuha coming back actually on the side of Russia is very interesting.
Yes, Suzuha, a very strong player. Wouldn't necessarily always put them into Nomad 4. They're going to be more like the main DT player. Has seen every single DT map, by the way, in the qualifiers. But certainly has prepared for it. We are getting into it. Nomad 4. Is Russia looking here at match point, or is Thailand once again doing a big upsetting play here?
I want to see Thailand make the magic happen once again on their pick.
Yeah, you really are rooting for this underdog, and that's understandable. I always do, but it's not looking like a good start here on the side of Thailand. 3 misses already. TZ Artifacts, I think it's the first one. Chest and Soft Bunny falling, only being traded by 11 IQ player. The rest of the players in Russia just feeling a bit better, but there's more drops, but that's the last FC on the side of Thailand. Gun as well. 2 FCs still on the side of Russia.
Yeah, Vlados and Souza really adjusting to this map despite the lower accuracies due to the slider elements. You're really enjoying this performance on the side of Russia so far, and Chess is going to be finding another reset, so yeah, Thailand really needs to start rebuilding those combos if they want to stay in this match.
Yes, and combo is very important on this type of map. It is quite long, so the more combo you have, the more of an advantage you can build up, and the less of the other team can come back. We still see Vlados with this big FC, Suzuha also doing a great job, and they're recovering combos on the side of Russia as well. Combos recovering on the side of Thailand as well, so they give themselves a chance, but they have to keep holding. They have to stop breaking.
Yeah, but look at how Russia stabilized. Unfortunately, they're just not letting any opportunity happen on the side of Thailand, despite those recoveries. And finally a miss on the side of 11 clear, but you're going to need a lot more than that on the side of Thailand if you want them to come back in this map.
Yeah, Russia needs to miss at least one FC, if not both FCs, really, to be able to lose this. We see TC Artifact on the side of Thailand, only 90% accuracy. Here we see... yeah, trades back and forth. Soft Bunny breaking on the side of Thailand, but... Oh no, that was Bancho!
Oh, that was Bancho.
That was Bancho. So it's even stronger now for Russia. 300 points advantage already.
Yeah, now it's looking kind of dire for Thailand on their pick, unfortunately.
Yes, and this is why you can't always trust these qualifier performances. Nomad 4 here, a lot different than the Nomad 4 from qualifiers. And you can immediately see that. It seems like the Russians are just out aiming here.
Russia is completely flipping what they did in the qualifiers. And you were talking about a bit of an underseed, and I think we're seeing it right now because look at how comfortable they look. Still 2 full combos on Vlados and Suzuha, and those very high recoveries on 11 IQ player and Stacia.
Yeah, the fourth player hitting 1000 combo now is quite a statement.
Chest.
Look at that. Over 4000 combo across the team. Stacia eventually now missing, but there's only a big combo here on the side of chest, and that big combo is lower than 3 players. Oh, never mind. Then all 4 players. That was Bancho once again.
Bancho once again, and it's only chest.
Below all 4 players on the side of Russia. What can they do?
Yeah, it's already a million points and only growing. Like, that was Thailand's pick, and it's not like Thailand is doing particularly bad on this map, it's just hard to combo, but look at what Russia is doing. Like, we're not even that far from a 4-way FC, it's still a 2-way FC, almost 3-way FC. Finally, is that a real miss on Suzuha, or are we going to get Banchoed once again? It is Bancho once again! It is Bancho!
What a meme,
and Russia on the Nomad 4 with the outstanding performance.
Yeah, and
what
you just
can you
need
do?
More than chest in your team to pull up scores, to do these FCs. Even if chest had a seed, even if chest had a seed every single map, it wouldn't have mattered. There's just not the support here. Azer 3 on the S rank, just slider breaking all the time.
Like GG.
But 4 S rank on the side of Russia.
What can you do? What can you even do?
Soaring and scoring, the melodic MC.
I'm at a loss for words. Like, what is this performance? Back-to-back Hard Rock 1, almost 3-way FC, and now 2-way FC, almost 4-way FC on the Nomad 4 on the side of Russia. The lowers accuracies, of course, lowering the score a little bit, but once again, Russia probably going to be getting one of the highest scores on this map of the weekend, and now they have the opportunity to pick to close the match.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit of a shaky start here. The first 2 maps were not looking that strong for Russia, but now that they're warm up, now that they're locked in, it seems like they're kind of unbeatable.
I guess we were wrong to worry about the early stage consistency. I just can't believe what we just witnessed. That was the opponent's pick, and they just won it by 1.5 million points. And you gotta think that kind of hurts Thailand's mental at this point, because that wasn't even close to being an opportunity to take a second point.
Certainly hurting your mental, but I think Thailand already knew from the beginning on it's gonna be a hard one. I don't think they are that bad mentally, but I think the inexperience is really just showing on these players, and the pressure that you are under in a World Cup. You're representing your country, and all of them know that, all of them understand that, and I feel like a lot of these misses are just on that. So definitely respect for them still playing this and trying their best, but it's just unfortunate. I would like to see them play more tournaments and maybe show up next year just with a lot stronger consistency here.
Alright, Russia, please pick GT3. Please close the match, or at least attempt to close the match on the GT3 pick. And then, no, it is going to be Nomad 1. Or Nomad 3.
Well,
like,
what is
you
it
gotta
gonna
choose,
be?
guys. You gotta choose.
Which one?
Like, you can't pick both. Nah, it is gonna. It looks like it's gonna be Nomad 1, which would make more sense against a team like Thailand, looking on how dominant they looked on the aim. I mean, how Russia looked dominant on the aim. Sorry, but yeah, I want to say that Thailand can come back in this and get a break point, but with how the Hard Rock 1 went, it's looking pretty unlikely. It is a very different style of map though, more modern aim, so perhaps the different patterns can bring a bit of hope back on the side of Thailand. But you look at this roster on the side of Russia and how they've been performing in the later stages of this match, and you just kind of worry for Thailand, unfortunately.
Yeah, this map is very interesting. It's so difficult to FC. You've got these like wiggly bursts. You've got these very awkward aims. Sometimes you have like these. It's not cross screen. It's like it's like a cross screen jump, but there's a circle in the middle. So you have to hit 3 jumps pretty much across the screen. So super difficult to keep it up. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of misses here towards the beginning, but around the 400 combo, it starts getting real difficult. And damn, it's such a banger. It's such a good song. It's so nice to listen to, but maybe you're just getting too immersed in the song and start missing because of that. I see that happening on a map that is so good, on a song that is so nice to listen to.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that Thailand can make something happen on this map. We're gonna see Schlever coming back in the lobby as well as Paracat. Stasia, 11 IQ player, staying true to what they've shown in this match, playing everything. And Chess following that up. I think Chess is the only one who have played everything. ARZ3 played most maps. I can't remember if he played every single map so far.
Almost, if not every single. Yeah, they're pretty much trying their best to keep this up alive. Bit unfortunate here for Thailand just not being able to keep up these FCs. I feel like they would perform a lot better on higher star rating, where you don't necessarily have to FC everything. But now it's still their chance. They could still take this back, of course. But it's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be a bit of an uphill battle, and Russian Federation, I don't know if they're gonna give them that chance here.
We mentioned Stasia, an 11 IQ player, a lot in this match, but quietly, Vlados has also been having very good performances.
Yeah, incredible stuff here.
It's really been a huge team effort on the side of Russia to show what they're capable of, and with how consistent they're looking on the earlier stages, I will agree that they might be a bit underseeded compared to what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, Russia, one of the most balanced teams here. They have pretty much like every player of them has like 5 or 6 maps they can play, no problem. They have no player who is sitting in usually like perma lobbying. We see it with Stasia here, but I think if the picks would have been different, it might have just been different for the match.
Looking at what they did today, I think in the later stages of the tournament, if you're Russia, you just like permaban Hidden One, right?
Yes, absolutely. It seems like Hidden One is just not theirs. But these Hidden Ones are very flowy, so if there's some kind of aim Hidden One, I think it might be a completely different story. Both teams here holding through at the beginning. No slip-ups, no ship misses here. We are starting to get into the first key eye. At around 400 combo, it gets really difficult. Well, not even 2 to 400 combo. We see already 2 misses here, straight up trays at the same patterns. But here, one unanswered miss from the side of Thailand. Russia now on the advantage with 3 FCs still on their side.
As you did mention, that miss is unanswered on the side of ARZ3, so a bit of a combo advantage on the side of Russia now. And oh my god, actually, 11 IQ player missing on nothing. So
must be pretty angry. 94% accuracy as well. Kind of blundered here a little bit, and just from the accuracy, the score wasn't even going towards the side of Thailand.
Yeah, and for once in this match, Thailand is seeming to having the accuracy advantage, as Russia had been in control, with Stasia most notably having very high accuracies. Of course, Stasia and Vlados are still very comfortable in this map. Paracat also have seen with much lower accuracy, so the combo advantage still on the side of Russia, but now TZ Artifacts, unfortunately, dropping one of the 2 remaining FCs on the side of Thailand. It's just Chess now. Who else to bring the last glimmer of hope on the side of Thailand, but unfortunately, Russia so far looking too strong. Paracat is going to drop, though. That's going to help.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be helping. TZ Artifacts breaking once again, but as long as Vlados and Stasia keep holding strong, there's nothing Chess can do. Chess the only FC left. 2 recovering combos, so still a lifeline for the Thai side here, but a bit dangerous, of course. Have to keep holding. No mistakes anymore. You can't mess up here anymore.
Oh, they need GLaDOS or Stacia, ideally both to miss somewhere in this map, and it's looking likely so far. Both are very comfortable. Stacia, with those accuracies, once again, still above the 99%. GLaDOS not far behind. Both besting Chess's accuracy as well, so...
Still
it's
a
not
lot
looking
of time
likely.
left. There is enough time. I think if even just one of them misses and the rest of Thailand holds, it might still be doable. But as you said, like, the further we go into this, the less likely it will be.
It's not looking very likely. Stacia, GLaDOS doing so much work for their team during this entire match. 11 IQ player also with a decent recovery now. And it's just Chess. ARZ3 and Min are trying their best. Even TZ Artifact started recovering, but unfortunately not going to be enough. Paracat is missing, but that's not the one you want on the side of Russia. And I think we're getting in the later stages of the map. It's going to be too late, unfortunately. And it is going to be the 5-1 win, despite the late slide break on 11 IQ player and GLaDOS and Myanmar. And it's gonna...
Stacia finishing here with the 99% FC. That's certainly one of the strongest scores that we'll see here on this weekend. But Chess also with an FC tried their best here. And we see the funny number on AZR3.
Of course.
Had to call it out. I'm sorry, guys.
It will have shrinked the lead a little bit towards the end, but unfortunately not going to be enough. It is going to be the 5-1 win for the Russian Federation. Thailand, not lacking in effort, of course. That beautiful hidden 1 point, still to be noted. Put up a decent fight, honestly, considering what Russia was doing to some of these maps. They give it their all and had a pretty decent score on that last Nomad 1 map, so nothing to scoff at on the side of Thailand, and I think they can show interesting performances in the losers bracket, as the Russian Federation will be a very challenging opponent for their second match in the round of 16, moving on in the winners bracket.
Thailand certainly made this match look sometimes a little bit competitive. They had some very good performances, outperformed Russia, of course, on a hidden one. Had a showing that on difficult maps they really can go off. And I definitely want to see them on the higher star rating pools in the loser bracket playing. I feel like they're gonna be stronger on these. They're gonna be a little bit more consistent on this. Very unfortunate for them. But this is it. This is it for this match. We're gonna have more matches, of course, today.
This is it for now. I believe the next match is in about 2 hours, commentated by myself and Ampy. Will be Indonesia versus Spain.
Yes, at 14 UTC. So in about 2 hours, we'll have Indonesia against Spain, just as you said. But this is gonna be it with us today. Or for now, for me today, at the very least, because I've got to leave very soon. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much for Subaru to commentate with me here.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and thank you to all the viewers, and stay tuned for the next matches in 2 hours.
And of course, thank you so much to the players, and I wish you guys a wonderful day.
See you in a bit.
Bye-bye.